Welcome to the dark side.
To the dark side chats, UK edition, Lord Ludicus.
It's a pleasure to be here, Lordus Modus.
When did you start the dark side chats in the first place?
Well, I started the Dark Side Chats in 2008, or early 2008, because at the time I had seen so many different facets of Star Wars. I mean, well, there's a lot of cool stuff on YouTube and out there on the internet about Star Wars collecting, Star Wars costuming, all kinds of great different costuming organizations like the 501st, the Rebel Legion, et cetera, and even fan films and role-playing, and I wanted to create something that explored all of that cool stuff and just the culture that is Star Wars fandom itself, and so that was my main motivation for creating the Dark Side Chats, just to kind of explore the cool fun that Star Wars fandom is all about.
What's your experience with Star Wars?
My experience with Star Wars, well, it's been really positive. I mean, I've had a lot of experiences with Star Wars as far as the fandom itself goes. I've interviewed celebrities over the last couple of years. I've interviewed, of course, tons and tons of fans. I've learned a lot about costuming. In fact, I've gotten involved with the Dark Empire, which is a Sith costuming organization growing globally now. And I think in the last couple of years, my overall perception of Star Wars is something that it's literally an entire universe.
If you could pick any characters from the 6 Star Wars movies, which one would you pick?
Oh, I would pick the Emperor. The Emperor is my favorite. I would have told you when I was a little kid that it was Luke Skywalker. He was my hero as a little kid, but somewhere along the way, that innocence was shed, and I developed a fondness for Darth Vader and ultimately the Emperor, as I realized he's the grand architect of the bloody takeover. He's just the man. He's got the lightning. He's got all the power. He could have whatever he wants, and that's pretty cool. And I think Ian McDiarmid is my favorite actor in the movies.
How long have you been to Star Wars?
I have been into Star Wars since 1977. I remember I was 4 years old, and my grandmother took me to the theater to see it, and it's one of, if I'm not mistaken, I think it is the very first movie I saw in any movie theater. And, well, that was, of course, that being the case, it was a big impression on me. It's certainly one of my earliest memories as a child, and so I've been a fan ever since, and, well, this is 2010, so it's been 33 years.
How did Star Wars influence your life?
That's a great question. Of course, again, it was one of the first memories I had as a kid, and it was probably the biggest thing I was into growing up. But in the last couple of years since I started the Dark Side Chats, it really helped me come out of my shell. Just having interviewed celebrities and other fans of Star Wars, I began to realize how much I enjoy going before the camera, going before the microphone, and that kind of thing. And I realized I have sort of a voice for this kind of thing. So, and now I have a podcast which is gaining in popularity, and I'm emerging as a voice actor. I've done commercials and other podcasts and a lot of announcing and public speaking even. So I'm very happy. Just in the last couple of years, Star Wars has really influenced me such that I think I've got a new career coming to fruition because of it. So I have George Lucas to thank for that. And thank you, Uncle George.
What's your favorite lightsaber form?
My favorite lightsaber form, I would have to say, is Vapid, simply because it's Mace Windu's creation, if I'm not mistaken, and he kind of teeters along the dark side while he uses that form a little bit, and hey, the dark side is really cool, and I sometimes think that especially in Revenge of the Sith, when you see Mace Windu fighting Palpatine, he doesn't exactly look like the happiest fellow in the world. He looks rather pissed off. And I think that, he's kind of teetering along the dark side there a little bit. You can see the expressions on his face. That's some pretty cool stuff. And I like the dark side, of course. And, I sometimes kind of wish Mace would have crossed over, and he might not have lost his hand in his life. But, Vapid's pretty cool.
what's your favourite line from any of the 6 Star Wars movies?
Well, you know what? There are so many of them, it's hard to pick just one, but I would have to say that just the "Welcome, young Skywalker. I have been expecting you." That, to me, says a lot, because I just don't know why. I love the Emperor, and I love how his overall command of the dark side, and just the Force, his mastery of it, just kind of, as he's saying that to Luke, it's sort of an intimidating line, and at the same time, it's letting Luke know that, hey, you can't hide anything from me. I'm the all-knowing master of the Sith, and there's no way that you can overpower me. And I thought that was pretty cool.
How did you come up with the name Lord Bruticus?
Lord Bruticus is a culmination of two things, and, well, number one, like any good Sith, I stole the name from Generation 1 Transformers, which is my other love. I'm a big fan of the original Star Wars, of course, Transformers, 1984, when that came out. I was very, very hooked, because that was the beginning of the dark times. I would say from 84 to 96, 97, when we had no Star Wars. Transformers, for me, filled the void, and I loved the original Transformers. I'm not a big fan of the new stuff. So, and Bruticus, of course, is one of the characters in Transformers that I think has a really, really good Sith-sounding name.